Aloha and welcome to Experience 8. It's called IsUnique, and it's called that because it's the first problem in the book Cracking the Coding Interview. If you haven't heard about Cracking the Coding Interview, you will soon, or you are now, because I think it's really a great book. Every ICS graduate or every ICS student who wants to get a high-tech job after graduation, I can't strongly recommend enough that you get this book and start looking at it well before your senior semester, because it can help you understand how to be best prepared for high-tech jobs, both here and on the mainland. So what we're going to do today is solve the very first problem in Cracking the Coding Interview, and it's called IsUnique. And what you're supposed to do is implement an algorithm to determine if a string has all unique characters. So for example, if we call IsUnique with a string containing all unique characters A, B, C, D, E, it's going to return true. If we call IsUnique with a string that contains a duplicate character like A, B, C, D, E, A, then it's going to return false. Okay, so a pretty simple problem. Lots of different ways to solve it. Some are really, you can get clever. And what I would do is before you start the WOD, just spend a little time kind of thinking to yourself, well, how am I going to do this? So you're not spending time during the WOD thinking about your algorithm. You're going to spend the time during the WOD actually implementing it. Okay, so hopefully you'll have done that previous practice WOD. You'll have looked through the Airbnb JavaScript style guide. Again, later in the semester, we'll have ESLint that will help make sure your code conforms to many of those best practices. But it's good to be reading this because it helps you understand, what does high-quality JavaScript look like. Next thing we're going to do is log into Jsfiddle. So you do that like this. If you've already logged in before, you'll be logged in again. As I say, if you don't want that funky, that funky white thing to come up when you save your system, you can take this and copy it and putting it into the CS window, and then all of a sudden it's going to go away when I try to save it. Yeah, so just, I don't know, aesthetics, right? Oh, and then looking at the result window, which is where, hello, okay, it's down here. I like to make it just big enough so that the console is as big as it's going to be, and then stop there. All right, so for the practice WOD, we're going to implement a JavaScript function called IsUnique, which accepts a string and returns true if the string has all unique characters, false otherwise, something like that up there. And so to begin, the first thing we've got to do is start the timer. So I'll use this, start. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Well, obviously we're going to say function is unique. Is unique. And it's going to take a string, and it's going to return true if that string contains all unique characters, false otherwise. So here's the way I'm going to do it. I can think of another way that's almost a one. I guess it's a two. Well, okay, you could do it in one line. You could do it in one line. See if anybody can figure out how to do that. Maybe 2 lines, but maximum 2 lines. But we're going to take a few more lines and do it another way. And here's the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to say let chars equal. Let's say char. No, let's just call it chars equals, and it's going to be an empty object. And what we're going to do is we're going to have that object contain fields where the field name is a character and the field value is true if that character has been seen in the string. And if the character hasn't been seen in the string, then the array is not going to contain that character. So this object is going to basically accumulate the set of characters in the string, and each time we get to see a new character in the string, we're going to say, have I seen it already, by referencing this little data structure. So we'll say for let I equals 0, I less than str dot length, I double plus. So we're going to go through each character in our string. And the first thing we're going to say is we're going to say if chars, and we're going to access the field in that object by passing it the character in the string. All right? So we'll access, A, B, C, D, E, and that'll be our field selector that we want to know. And basically we're going to say if we can find a value so that that field exists in that object, well, return false, right? Because we've just found a duplicate. Otherwise, we want to add that. We haven't seen that character, so we want to add it to the array. So we can say chars of str I equal true. Okay? Now, if we get out of the for loop and we haven't returned false, that's because we've not seen any duplicate characters at all, and so therefore we can return true. Okay? So that's what I think we should do. And so to see if, we got the right thing, I will copy this. Oopsie. And let's make another copy of it. Okay. Expected, oops, right, so need 2 of these for sure. Okay, so let's clear the console, run, and look at this. We get a true when there's no duplicate characters and false when there aren't. So like magic, it works, but you might be asking yourself, I don't get how this thing works. And so let's just put in a console.log of chars. So we can actually see how this, this algorithm is working as we do it. So if I clear the console, and maybe I'll just show it for this one, for just one of them. That probably is enough. And we'll type run. And so here's what you can see as we go through. So we get we're looking at A, B, C, D, E. So the A, we check the A. It's not in there, so we assign the field A to be true. So that's, come on. So we've got that in there. And then when we go through the loop again, we're adding the field B and giving it a value, C giving it a value, D giving it a value, E giving it a value, and then we return true. Okay, and then if we, just for fun, if we do it with that one, what we're going to see is we go through the whole same sequence, building up all the way to A, B, C, D, E, and then we hit the A, and now we're going to return false. Okay, all right, so our function seems to work. And so we've informally tested it. It looks good. We press the save button. So let's press the save button. And then we can stop your timer, record your time. So it took us 5 minutes, 45 seconds to write that code. If you do it more, so again, I would suggest if you get to the DNF time, you definitely want to stop maybe at that point, or finish it off, but you want to repeat, right? If you're up there in the 12-minute mark, just start a new buffer, start coding again. It'll be great practice. Maybe you'll make a different kind of mistake, but you want to get this down so that you're able to solve it in less than 10 minutes. Less than 7 minutes would be good. It only took me 5, and I was talking, right? Okay, so there it is, cracking the coding interview. If you've solved this, who knows, maybe you'll go to an interview with Google and all they will ask you is the IsUnique function, and you get a job at Google. Wouldn't that be nice? Probably won't happen. But anyway, see you next time.